All right, I am going to create a web page here and play around with the web page to kind of help some of my new students get used to moving around with web pages. So first thing I've done is I've connected to my web space, and I'm going to copy a program. You could do any program you like. You should already know how to do copy source code by now. But I'm going to duplicate this page and I'm going to call it just for fun.htm. No HTML, just HTML. And I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm going to call that just for fun images, camel cased. And now I'm going to pop an image into that folder after I manipulate it a little bit. So I've got an image of some houses right here. I'm going to open that up with an image editor. Preview is the one I'm using here on the Mac. And I'm just going to crop it a little bit. Let's see, where's crop? There's crop. I need to do a select all first, and then adjust what I want to have in the image. Okay, and then Command K is what I use to crop it in this program. Now I'm going to resize it, and I'm going to make it 1,000 pixels wide. And let's see how big that is. It's 249 kilobytes, which is under our half megabyte limit. And now I'm going to export that or save it. See if I can export it. And I'll call this houses.jpg. And I think I could have just done this JPEG right there. And I'm going to put that in my downloads folder. And now I'm going to tab over to my downloads folder, which is right here. And here's my houses picture that I just made. And I'm going to copy that to my just for fun images folder by dragging it. And now I have a houses.jpg JPEG in my just for fun images. Now let's go edit our web page. And you can see we've got normal stuff here at the top. I'll call this Kirk's Just for Fun page. Got my name up there. And I'll go with Kirk's Just for Fun page for my title. That'll show up on the tab. And here I've got an external style sheet referenced. So let's go ahead and work on the external style sheet. And I tell you what, I'm going to duplicate that. And I'll call it just for fun CSS.css. A little repetitive, I know. That's okay though. So now I've got a just for fun CSS.css document, and I need to reference that just for fun CSS.css, and then this can be whatever you want it to be. I'm going to do load 1, and then I'll do load 2, and I'll do load 3, and so on and so forth. So here I can change the color for my text and the color for my background. I'm going to pick, let's go dark mode. I'll do a really dark black, and I'll do a pretty light color for my text. And I think I'm going to get rid of this other stuff because it might be a little too confusing. All right, so looks like I got my footer and my body. Let's put hello on here, and I'm going to save it, and now I'm going to navigate to that page on the web to see what it looks like. IMS222, I think that's all caps for me. IMS222, and that was camel case just for fun.htm, and there's my hello. Cool. Now, if you want to, if you're having problems with caching, or you just want to use the class website, you can do that to reload your page. So I'm going to do that by going to our class site and down to the bottom, practice page checker. And I'm going to do a new page. And all I need to do is change this URL to justforfun.htm. That's the name of the page. And then my unique ID, limit to right there. Page. And because I have just for fun as the title, the practice page checker works. It also works with any page with the name practice in it. And you can see my page right here. And you can see my source code. So let's make a change to the page. You don't need that. Hello, how are you? And I'm reloading that page and it says hello, how are you? So we're all set. Let's put our image in. Image source equals, let me double check my folder name. Just for fun images. So I'm going to copy and paste that here. And then my image was called something, houses.jpg. I think I'll copy and paste that too. Houses.jpg. And then my alternate text is going to be a row of houses. That's for a screen reader. And let's do a style equals, let's do a width of 50%, and then I'll do a margin left of, let's do 20%, and a margin right of 20%. That should equal 100, so I've got 20, 40, I really need 60% here. Now let's reload the page. And voila, there's my picture. Cool. Let's put in a break. Reload my page, and it didn't do much. Let's put in one more break. Oh, it actually did before. I was expecting it to drop down below, but it's not going to do that because it's got a width of 60%. So let's make the picture a little bit bigger. This isn't going to change the file size or the dimensions. It's only going to change the way it looks. So 70 plus 15 plus 15 is going to be 100%. And now it looks bigger. Let's do one more. Let's make it 90%. And then 5% space on the left and 5% space on the right. Save that. Reload. And now it's nice and big. Cool. So here we have an external style sheet. And that document is over here. just for fun CSS. If you reference a sheet that doesn't exist, it's not going to work. And then here I have internal styling, and here I have inline styling. Let's change the text one more time, and I'll say this page is meant to help you learn about CSS and images a little better. Tell you what, so for a little bit of practice, I'm going to upload another picture, and I will change some stuff in the CSS, and hopefully that'll give you a better feel on things. A picture of Cincinnati, taken from northern Kentucky, on a walk that my wife and I took. So let's crop this a little bit. And Command K is what I use to crop in this program. And now I'm going to adjust the size, and I'm going to make that 1000 pixels wide by 421 high. Got the lock on there so it stays in proportion, and 175 kilobytes is what it's going to be, which is well under our half a megabyte or 500 kilobyte limit. Now I'm going to export that to my local machine as a JPEG, and I'll call that, let's do capital Cincinnati, and I'll save that to my local machine, which is right here. And now I'm going to copy that over to my Just for Fun Images folder by dragging it. And now I can go back and edit my web page. And this time I'm going to do a div, which is short for division. And I'm going to copy this other image code because they're both in the same folder. That's the folder. That's the image. The alternate text is, let's call it photo of Cincinnati. Actually, we already know it's a photo, so I'll just say Cincinnati. And I'm going to go with the same dimensions. Now let's change them a little bit. Let's make it a little bit smaller. 80 plus 10 plus 10 is 100 for 100%. And here I'm going to do some styling. This is inline styling. And I'll do margin top of 2M. That'll scoot it down from the other image a little bit. And I'm going to view my changes using the assignment viewer. And there it is. There's my image. Let's change our background from black to white and vice versa. So I've got internal styling right there that I'm going to change. I'll change my color. That'll just be black, and this will be completely white. Reload my page, and voila, look at that. Nice, huh? Now we haven't done very much with our external style sheet, the Just for Fun page. So let's do something. Get rid of all of this junk. And let's do body. And we need little squiggly brackets here, curly braces if you like to call them that. And looks like I've got a font family decided. Let's do padding of 2M, and save that. And I'm going to come over to my just for fun, and I'm going to change this to load 2 so that caching is not a problem. Although it's not really a problem for me right now because I'm using the assignment viewer to check my page. So I didn't really see a whole lot change. So because I have padding here. So let's see if that changes now. And it did, it changed. But if you're not really sure how much changed, let's get crazy and make it 22M. That'll give us a whole bunch of padding. Look at that, it's way down there. Padding all around all of that information. So 22 is a little bit ridiculous. Go back to 2. And here let's change, let's add a margin of 2M. 2M. And it looks like I'm doing spaces here today. And there we go. So let me explain the cascading style sheet stuff just real shortly. This is the first styling that it gets to. So it's going to load this document over here, which only has the font family and it has body. We could do a class. This would be a class with stuff in it right there. Could do padding of 1M. We could do an ID. This would be an ID. And then you would do it the same way. And then I'm going to cheat and just copy my padding. But it's a little silly to have these in here because I'm not actually using them. So let's reference it. This would be a class. I'll do a div. Class equals. This would be a class. And this will be stuff here. Reload my page. Stuff here, and you can see the padding. Let's go back to my class and change the color to an obnoxious green, red, green, blue. And then the background color to blue, red, green, blue. And now it's stuff here. Obviously you wouldn't want to leave it like this because that's pretty hideous looking. But let's do the same thing with the ID. Let's go with red, green, blue. So that color will be red. And here we'll make this really dark color, 222, shorthand. But nothing changed because I don't have any IDs on my page. So I'm going to copy this. This would be an ID. I'm going to copy this down here and say more stuff here. Change my class to that, and this would be referenced as ID. And now I have stuff here and more stuff here in really bad colors. So the cascading style sheet is going to grab the just for fun, and then if there's a change to that information, it's going to change it cascading down on the page. So this would be next. You see I have body information where it's padding of 2M. If I come back on this page and I add padding of 1M, that's going to overwrite the information on the other page, and you see it got smaller. If I did 10em, then we would have a lot of padding. See how that works? And if we wanted to get crazy and do inline styling, we'll just change it right back to 1em. Always good to end that with a semicolon. And now we're back to 1. So let me walk through how that works. The Just for Fun has styling with padding there in the Just for Fun external style sheet. And then I do additional styling and actually overwrite part of the styling with the internal styling. And then I have inline styling that has padding of 1em that overwrites it yet again. So typically you want to do all that overwriting, but that's how it works. And I have 2 images on the page, which are styled differently with inline styling. Let's change that to 60 and 20 and 20. Reload my page. And now you see the photo of Cincinnati smaller. Just for Fun images has my 2 images. Those got copied over from my local space. So I drug it from there to there, and then I have it referenced in my HTML. This is just a recap. I have it referenced, calling the folder that it's in, and then the image name. Everything has to match up and be case sensitive correctly. So if I had a capital houses, depends on your server. It might work, it might not. And with Bluehost, it does not work. So I've got a broken image. I'm going to change it back to the lowercase houses name, reload my page, and voila, it works again. Hope you enjoyed that very long description, but hopefully it was enough to help you get started with your images. Oh, you know what? Before I go, I'm going to do a screen capture. So let's pull up a new web page. And with the Mac, I'll just do an internet search for a screenshot. Could do on a PC. I'm going to do on a Mac because I'm on a Mac. And it says Shift, Command, and 3. So let's do that on a new page. Shift, Command, and 3. And it just took a screenshot of the whole page. This will be good practice for us. And I know that that goes on my desktop, and I have a whole bunch of stuff on my desktop. So I'm going to move it over to my downloads. And that's too big, so let's open it up with our image editor. And I'm just going to adjust the size. I don't really need to crop it. And I could zoom in to see it a little bit better if I want. And then I will export that. I could do it as a PNG, but I'm going to do it as a JPEG because I like JPEGs better. And I'm going to call this screenshot with an underscore, no spaces. Spaces are not a great thing for the web. This is going to be 122 kilobytes. And I can close my image there. And here's my screenshot.jpg. Time to move that over to the folder. I like to open up the folder and drag it directly in there like that. So now it's on my web space. I just need to reference it from my HTML. And I will grab this. Just for Fun Images is the right folder. It was screenshot. And then this is a sample screenshot reduced to 1000 pixels before uploading. And I'll save that and reload my page. And there's my screenshot right there. So if you do folders with different names, you would just replace your Just for Fun Images folder with whatever your folder name is. And I definitely recommend putting your images in a folder. You don't have to, but it's a good idea, and it's good to reference what it's an image of. So you can see I have a Fix This Site, and I have a Fix This Site Images folder, and I have a Hire Me, but I don't have a Hire Me Site folder. Images, you'll get to these later. I did images with inside that folder for those. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you, and there you go.